Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing City Folk. Today might be on the shorter end of things. I say that because, well, I'm tired. It's about like 4:30. My brain has been telling me to go to sleep for a few hours now, but I had an export going, that being Fire Emblem, which had been going for 4.5 hours in total. I started it at midnight, and it literally just ended not long. Well, a little before midnight, actually. But it just ended like, just before I started recording this. It's currently uploading to YouTube. Just making sure those are watered. But it uploading should not impact recording. Had I tried to record while it was exporting, that might have caused problems. It definitely would have made the video go longer. Not the video, but the export go longer. I say that because I was streaming while the export was going. And I was not only dropping frames, not a huge amount of frames, but enough frames that it bothered me. But also it was slowing the export down to a crawl because OBS uses a lot of CPU to do anything. Like right now, it is using 40% of my computer's CPU. That is a quad-core i7. And it's using 40% of it to record. It uses a little more to stream. Now, I don't know if any of you who watch these make videos yourself or have just ever rendered anything. But rendering anything uses generally your CPU. Sony Vegas has a way of having your GPU help accelerate it, but it's still mostly on the CPU. So, yeah, I literally got to hear my CPU's fan running harder than I had ever heard it run before. Would be the best way to put it. Like, this thing was, like, getting ready to take off, I swear. Like, it was ridiculous of how, like, powerful that fan was spitting. And it's not a big fan either. It's rather small. So, I made the decision to stop my stream early to try and not fry my CPU. Because I know those things are meant to take high temperatures, but when the fan is clearly running at maximum capacity to keep it from melting, you know, I can only imagine how hot it got. I actually have no way of monitoring that. Because old computer. Like, I actually stopped during the stream to figure it out. Like, my desktop was made literally a decade ago. Because I got it as a Christmas present in 2008. I am still using the same computer with nearly the exact same interior. I say nearly because it's gained one extra RAM stick and an entirely new GPU. And I still know nothing about its interior. It's actually a small argument I actually had with my mother earlier. She's very much in the mindset of anyone under 16 shouldn't even have any sort of electronic device. Which, you know, I'm kind of an example of. I still had some things. Like, you know, I had a Game Boy Advance, I had Game Boy Color. That was about it, really. Well, a DS. You know, handheld game consoles. I didn't even get my first computer until I was, geez, something like 14. Like, and it was a really just bad Sears laptop that barely functioned for what I wanted it for. But it was cool because I'd finally gotten a computer of my own. I no longer had to fight for the family computer, which we would get like an hour on a day. 2 hours if we're lucky. Which really isn't enough time to do really anything. We'd usually get it longer if we had like a project to do, but the thing wasn't powerful enough to do anything else while doing a project. So, you know, it was purely just that's for school. Basically, that's for schoolwork. I honestly feel pretty technologically inept. I do not know or understand much about technology. Like, quite honestly, if you were to put, say, 2 phones in front of my face, I would not be able to tell you a difference between them, other than maybe if they're a different size, or have a slightly different physical look to them. I wouldn't be able to tell you which one's newer, which one's older, which one's better, which one has, you know, I don't know any of that. Because I was never exposed to any of it as a kid, at all. Like, we had a cell phone in the house that sat on its charging dock and was never moved. The thing was barely ever even used. It never left the house. Like, that's what our family was like. And this was like, the best way to describe it is it had a Nokia design. Like the Nokia that's indestructible. I know of that one because of memes. Like, literally, that's where a lot of my computer knowledge comes from. Well, not computer, but tech knowledge. I have virtually no computer knowledge. If I didn't have a few of the friends I have, I think my desktop would still just be sitting dormant. Okay, get ready for a thrill, S-Spot. I brought the perfect ranch flooring for you. It's only... sure. But, like, I... Literally, it was one of my online friends who was like, have you tried plugging a video cable into the motherboard? What? Yeah, send me a picture of the back of it. It's like, okay. Is there those ports there? Try plugging whatever cable you were using to connect your computer into those. Like, okay. I did that, and then it worked. Which is a case of he just went, okay, it's the graphics card that's gone. Only he said GPU. And followed by me going, what? Graphics card. Okay. How do those work? Like, even opening it up, I didn't know what the graphics card was. I knew nothing. Hey, Black Bishop. Hanging on to that. Like, I know basic programming, but I know nothing of the interior of a computer. Basically, I know how to make a computer work to a degree, but I have no idea how its interiors work. And I only know the programming because I want to be a game developer, so I figure I may as well know how to program. That's a pretty big part of that. Well, I don't want to specifically be a game developer. I still really want to be a teacher, more than anything. But I'd like to be able to design games, because I like games. I want to make my own games. But, like, I am very much of the opinion that, at least for the modern age, people should really just be given devices like that. Like, I honestly, just given how the world's going, I don't think it would be that much to ask that basically, you know, every household that has a child be provided a base level gaming computer. You know, one of the ones that runs about $500. I mean, I don't think that would be that much to ask of, you know, places that provide things. I mean, yeah, that would eat into the government's bottom line, but that's a simple fix. Just pay government employees less. They're some of the highest paid people in the workforce. They don't need that much money to do their jobs. Not in my opinion. But that's getting into political territory, and I really don't want to go there, because, well, I don't really have that many political beliefs. I have common sense beliefs. That we should all just get along. We should know where, you know, We should all get along and we should all be given jobs. Ta-da. Happier society. Honestly, just everyone getting jobs would probably create a happier society. Is that a weed? Yeah, that's a weed, okay. It's like, is that a bug on that flower, or... Still have yet to see a walking stick, and I need to go to Nooks. Like, I also get that, like, my everyone should be given a job comes from how long I've been job hunting, because no one will hire me, because I don't have my grade 12. And that is a complete other topic for another time. But just, no, my basic thoughts there is that it's completely just bull. Because anyone could get that diploma. I know people who would basically would eat rocks dumb that have that diploma. It's not a measure of intelligence. Sorry to say to employers. What is a measure of intelligence is test scores. But even then, a lot of tests are honestly really easy. If you've paid attention, you'll generally pass them. And that's the idea. But yeah, I don't want to get ranting about that. I could rant about that forever because it honestly does frustrate me that I literally cannot get a job. Even though I have been trying for going on 6 years now. Actually, going on 7 years. Because I was fired from my last job in my last official job in the summer of 2012. Like, it's a little sad, really, when you think about it, that I've gone this long unemployed. Not by choice, but because I literally cannot get a job. I've literally been turned down from McDonald's. They won't even hire me. Which really says a lot about today's age. Especially where, you know, the people setting those rules, aka, you know, my parents' generation, is the generation where more people than ever, from what I remember anyway, never finished school. Now they've got it set up so that if you don't finish school, you have no hope. At all. Which, quite honestly, leads to quite, you know, a lot of times I'll just be sitting around and think, well, what's the point of even submitting this job application? What's the point of trying? I know I'm gonna get turned down. Yeah, I'll use the classic chair. I need a new chair here, because I gave away the robo chair, so... Yeah, it looks nice. Sit and stare at my birthday cake. But, yeah, like... I saw an article at one point of some rich guy basically paid for the college tuition of a lot of, like, the poor people in his city. And the graduation rate in that area went from, like, 20% to 100% of kids graduating high school. And, yeah, that's accurate. Because those kids that had no hope of achieving anything before were given hope. They were given a reason to try. And quite honestly, I myself would have stayed in school and just fought the uncomfortable feelings I had being there, and just the annoyance of being there. if I would have known I was guaranteed getting into college later. But as it stands, well, my family's poor. We always have been. There was no hope of me getting into college unless I literally paid for all of it myself, or took out a student loan which I would be paying off for the rest of my life. Like, just why I honestly hold the opinion of a lot of college classes are pointless. Because you can learn them the things elsewhere. And I've also learned from talking with people, like, if you want to get into game design, your best course of action, if you want to be a programmer, is just learn to program things. Learn to program things and do it well. When you apply for a programming job, they'll ask you what you can do. You could have that diploma and still not know how to program your way out of a wet paper bag. Because, quite honestly, a lot of diplomas for things like programming aren't set up good. So, like, I'm ranting. But basically, it'll be a case of, like, they'll basically tell you what to do and you just fill it out. From what I've heard, anyway. I used to browse the extra credits forums a lot. I don't anymore, because there's too much sketchy stuff going on with extra credits. They were a nice lot, but sketch. But I'm gonna end this off here. With that, I'd like to remind everyone I do have a Patreon, should you wish to throw money at my poor butt. And with that said, I thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again next time for more Animal Crossing City Folk. See you all then.